Good afternoon, y'all. April 8th, 2019. I had to think a minute. As one thing in life leads to another, I remembered something I wanted to say in class this week as we're winding down the semester that really applies to all of us. The concepts of knowledge and wisdom are greatly misunderstood in our world. Part of the problem, as you know, if you've listened to me, and you probably have if you're hearing this, that poetry and music exist outside of language, beyond language spiritually. And language brings us to earth in a way poetry and music allows us to go to the sublime spiritually and realize ourselves as we exist within nature, which is critical, especially to our position today in a technologically fueled world that lacks observation and reflection on the human authentic condition under nature. And today, I want to think about these concepts of knowledge. There's two German idealist philosophers, Immanuel Kant, who is famous as well for his concept of rational faith, that if we had no other way than to realize the way we are here on earth, that we would believe in God because it's obvious in the order of nature. People are generally good. Kant believed we're all good, which Schopenhauer comes along right behind him and Hegel and says, oh, I'm in pain. I want to know why I'm suffering. I want to know why the 40-hour work week steals reflection from my time and myself and my life. So it didn't last long, but the German idealists believed in all good, all God. Now, Hegel was not nearly as naive as Kant in the late 1700s. Hegel was a little younger, with Schopenhauer's time. Of course, Hegel and Schopenhauer. Wow, I love it. And Schopenhauer's the winner all the way. So existentialism beats idealism every time. Nonetheless, Kant and Hegel tell us a lot about life, and we need to understand that. Their concepts, Kant sets it up. He said, you can know things without having knowledge of things because you don't know the thing in itself. So pure knowledge, pure knowing is only knowing if you know the thing in itself. It's not just a user's knowledge, like someone can pick up a tool and know how to use it on an engine without knowing how the engine works. So you can have knowledge without having wisdom or real knowledge of the thing in itself. You have what's called knowledge of things. In Hegel's phenomenology of spirit, he clarifies this with a term called sense certainty. And Hegel argues and sets it up that the only things we really have knowledge, let alone come close to having wisdom on, are the things that we know inside and out as things in themselves. Those of you who know me well understand the northern white rhino and the plight of the rhino. Over 1,000 are killed every year in Africa, still poached for a horn that's keratin, a toenail, a fingernail. It's useless. They believe it's an aphrodisiac or tiger's blood. The northern white rhino, to know the northern white rhino or any rhino, you got to know it in itself, in its environment. The Asian rhino, the Javan rhino, the African rhino, the black African rhino lives in trees, whereas the white rhino and the northern white that wasn't there is gone now. 20,000 in 1969. Now there's none. 2 females that are dying. Nonetheless, to know the thing in itself, the rhino, you got to know the specific part of the species. You got to have sense certainty engaged to where you become the rhino. I know what you're thinking. Happens every day, a few times a day. Got to be a rhino. And find your animal totems. Here's a little footnote for knowing self. Oftentimes at the beginning of class, I have students take a piece of paper and a pencil and list out their 5 top animal totems. Thinking about Native Americans here. What are your 5 totems? I would love to see you list them here below this video. See if we can get a little interaction happening here. But I can tell you my 5 totems are a polar bear, a northern white rhino, a koala, a muskie, and a red-tailed hawk. Although I know there are porpoise and dolphins in my life. Being a Pisces especially, I only have to be in the water for a second. The rhino fights with the dolphin to get on top of my totem pole. Interesting. Nonetheless, you got to know the thing in itself to have any true knowledge. And you got to have sense certainty it's real. So when someone tells you they love you down the pipe on the internet or in a text message, it's good and it's meaningful. But when they're standing in front of you and you have complete sense certainty of mind, vision, smell, touch, taste, all of it, you know it's as real as it gets on this earth. And thank God for that kind of realism. But reality is most people walking around know things and can use things and can ask Siri or Alexa or whoever the hell it is. Mom says, Jetta says that to me, and I'm like, I am Google. I am Google, damn it. And the reality is you got to try to be Google, but you got to know the thing in itself. Sure, we'll know things. No, we can't know it all. No one can. But in the glory of trying to find it, you learn a lot. You know a lot. You learn about things in themselves. And you learn about your sense certainty and their sense certainty from a personal level. Then you can start to understand what's going on in the world. People are walking around talking every day because they know things. And many people don't know hardly anything in itself. They don't know the things in themselves. They don't even know their self in themselves. I can tell you myself, I got a slab of baby back ribs here and some hickory chips. I'd say in the next 24 hours, something's going to happen. Simple, but reality. I know the thing in itself about smoking meat and fish. I know about real barbecue. These things, see them that you know, the things in themselves you know. And look at the others who just know things and have very little wisdom. And then look at the things in themselves you know with respect to our world and other humans who create representations every day that may be true, false, or in the middle, with no even real intent at times, one way or another. Interaction is amazing, but it always helps to cut it to the core to see the truer, authentic human nature. As time progresses, we will find that we have to live within nature. We're doing it better than we ever have, but we have to live within nature, build within nature, not on top of nature. We have to use sense certainty to define what matters, like heat and a house and sewer systems, or a bonfire and sushi and barbecue. Whatever it is, we create it. But when you stray far with your representations from the reality of life on earth, and you go outside of love or sexuality or friendship to make money in the world, materialistically in particular, or you're a naysayer, liberal at this point who wants to give it all away, you're missing the point. Each one of us in America is as strong as the president, as strong as the government itself. We're the ones who keep it free by working every day. No one's doing that for us, and any real thinking adult knows. Charlatans and sophists dance in politics today, and the media supports it like a freak show. I used to have to pay $1 to get into the freak show at the circus. Now, you just go online or turn on your television, and it's right there. The beauty resides within self and sense certainty. Wow, that was good. Yeah, reality within self and sense certainty. Say that 3 times fast. And the reality becomes it. I know who we are. We know who we are. The others don't. Inside each of us is the answer to all the things in themselves. You just have to want to think about it to see and remember. Peace out, y'all. Take care.